Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to another anime talk. I am your host Aero, and this week I am joined with 2DT.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Sorry about the bad connection, guys. I'm kind of weathering a thunderstorm right now, so if I cut out, I'm sorry.
We'll do our best.
We will do our best. Alright, ready to go?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so our first topic today. This is more of an announcement type thing. So after some recent shows have aired, and now that the clouds are starting to settle, we have more shows coming to the West. So for those of you guys who are fans of Crunchyroll, Attack on Titan and Hentai Oji to Warawanai Neko, excuse the pronunciation. Henneko, thank you. Yes, those two are now on Crunchyroll, or will be in the next 2 days. So those of you who are fans of Funimation or have their subscription, I need to talk a little louder. Okay. For those of you guys who are fans of Funimation, Attack on Titan will be on... Oh yeah, Attack on Titan will also be on Funimation. Sorry about that. And then finally, Neon Alley has picked up the Excel World and Fate Zero dubs. If you go to their site, you can currently see a trailer for it, which, interesting choice in the dubs.
Are you a fan of dubs?
It depends on the shows. Some shows can do it well. Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Bakano. Those are really good shows. These shows, not really so sure. Well, it's weird because if you watch the Excel World dub, the main character, he sounds like Shinji Ikari from Evangelion.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a good thing though.
Well,
He plays a short, fat kid, so...
Right, yeah. Oh, that's right. It was the fat kid anime. Oh, that'll be interesting. Okay, I guess I'll check that out.
Yep. So yeah, if you guys have these subscriptions, go check them out. I'm not getting paid for this advertisement, so they're welcome.
Right, you just have... I mean, it's just interesting. We have a lot of anime available to us now, so...
It's getting better. We get more and more by the week.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on to our next topic.
Yes.
So for those of you who live in the Midwest, there have been some recent announcements about Anime Central. The most recent announcement is Yukino. She did the song for... I'm actually blanking on the title. I'm a terrible person.
Bakumatsu Roman.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah.
Which is the show about the thief, if you caught that last season. Joe was watching it, I wasn't, so I really can't say how well it was. But yeah, if you're fans of that show and you're fans of that singer, she will be there. As for the other people that were recently announced, Calafina is confirmed to be doing a performance there, as well as, or not as well as, and then also Asakawa Yu will also be there for autographs and interviews. If you don't know Asakawa Yu, let's go back into her list or to her resume. She
Motoko.
was... Yes.
You're very important.
You're really excited about that one. So for those of you who've seen Love Hina, you have Motoko. If you watched Koichoko last year, Shinonome, Satsuki, the best girl. And then also from the following season, she was the mother from Sasami-san. This is a pretty good lineup, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I've heard Calafina doesn't do very well live. I don't know. Just the impression I get, but I don't know. Well,
I mean, we'll see. Because, based on my experience, so last year I was at Anime Boston when Ito Kako was there. For those who don't know, that's the singer who does, like, Steins Gate. She did the opening for that one. And it was unusual because a lot of her songs have, like, rock ballads in the back, but there was no performers. Like, it was just only her on stage. So there would be times where it would just be... just pure instrumentals. You hear like an electric guitar solo going in the background, and there's just her dancing on stage.
Oh, that's so awkward. Oh God.
And I think the best part is that all the white boys out there in the audience, they have no rhythm. So they got the glow sticks, but they're not matching up to the song.
Oh yeah, we need to learn from the Japanese, dude. It's shameful, I tell you.
Yeah, they got it down.
Yeah, Yukino, she's actually, well, I mean, she reminds me of Shina Ringo. So, I don't know, I think she'd be very interesting on stage.
Really?
Yeah, well, she has that kind of, super jazzy kind of flavor.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I don't know. I kind of wish I could go to Anime Central, but I can't.
yeah. Well, Chicago's a nice city too. So you guys are lucky. Those guys in the Midwest.
Yeah. Also, Chicago's a fantastic place. You should go check that out if you're not at the convention. I like it. All right. So on to our next topic. Let's see. C3. So C3 Boo.
Yes.
This show, I am utterly excited for it. I don't think anyone else is hyping this, so I'm going to hype the crap out of it. So
We have
C3, for those of you who don't know, it's essentially about cute girls doing airsoft. I talked about it on the last anime talk, but we finally get some news on who's actually doing this show. So, actually trying to load up the news. So yeah, I did mention last week that it was Gainax. But as far as the personnel and the staff go, we know that the character designers are done by Manami Umeshita, who did the character designs for Medaka Box. And as far as the director, it's Masayoshi Kawajiri, who it's his first time doing a show, or any show actually, as being a director. And then as for the last person would be the composer, which is Kotaro Nakagawa, who did Kokias and Hayate. So, I mean, it's a new cast, but it seems like you have decent source material. How do you think this will turn out?
Well, it's really bad, but my first impression was I saw the key character art for it, and I saw that there was this long-haired girl, and she did that thing, the arch with her fingers. You know what I'm talking about? Where they put their hands together, kind of, and to show that she's kind of an elegant Ojo-sama. I looked at it and I was like, oh, I'm excited. I don't know. It seems, wow. Everybody already knows I'm terrible, so it's fine. But, yeah, no, I think the characters look really cute, and it looks, I don't know, it might be the next Girls in Panzer. Who knows?
Let's see. I don't know. Apparently, the first chapter of the manga is out. I cannot find scanlations for it, but the first chapter is out, and it's not being reviewed positively.
Oh no.
Yes, it's kind of a shame, but anime and manga are two different things. That's the most important thing to consider, is that they are two different mediums, and for all we know, we might be getting gold later on this year.
That's true. I mean, we learned that with Aku no Hana, which we will not go into.
Oh, fanboys are mad. Anyway.
Yeah, so mad. Moving on.
Yeah, so check out the trailer if you can. It's on YouTube. I talked about it last week. Actually, jazzy opening. How can you not watch it? All right, so on to our next topic. Please, computer.
Silver Spoon.
Silver Spoon, yes. So, again, I talked about the show last week. This is the Nortamina show of the summer. There's two Nortamina shows, but this is the only one that's been confirmed so far. So the only thing we know about it as of now, with the recent news, is that A1 Pictures will be doing the show. So,
yes.
So we have A1 Pictures. Let's see. Taku Kishimoto is doing the scripts, whose most recent work is Usagi Drop. And
yes.
Let's see what else. And the... That's all you need to know. Yep.
No, the mangaka for Full Metal Alchemist is the original creator.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, if you look at the character designs, I'm pretty sure everyone noticed that by now.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. It's just so different, you know?
We'll see. But I don't know.
What do you think? Well, because I mean, the concept is just a farm school, right? Basically.
Yes. So for those who don't know, it's about the main character, the one with the glasses, as you see there. He goes to a farm school just so he can be the best student, and he has no care about agriculture. So obviously, it's about a fish out of water tale, and he will most likely grow to like farm culture. I don't know. I want to compare it to Moyashimon, but I feel like that's a bad thing to do.
Because it's too easy, I think.
It is too easy.
Yeah. But it does make me wonder, are agricultural schools really a thing, you know?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. So, growing up in California, the school closest to me was UC Davis.
Oh.
And UC Davis actually used to be part of University of California, Berkeley, which is the bigger of the UC schools. and essentially UC Davis was like their farming, their agriculture institution, part of University of Berkeley, and then eventually became its own university.
Mm.
At least that's what alumni tell me. That's all I know. So yeah, so farming schools, they do exist, but I don't know how fun they are though.
Yeah. It's not like Maou-sama.
Oh yeah, I would love if I could talk to the little microbes. That'd be the best.
All right, moving on.
Let's move on. All right. So in more news, Prisma Illya, the staff for this has also been released as well. Let's see, the main studio. So let me take a step back. So this show was being done by, excuse me, is being done by Silverlink, who are famous for Baka to Test and last year's Kokoro Connect. It seems like after reviewing the staff, it's a lot of fairly newcomers there. So it's kind of hesitant to accept that, but at the same time, you have a new concept, Prisma Illya, for those who don't recognize it. Yes, that's the same Illya from Fate Stay Night. And it looks like it's going to be a fairly humorous or comical Maho Shoujo. What do you think about it so far?
I gotta tell you, like, the Type Moon fanboys are gonna kill me for this, but I kind of hate these spin-off things like Carnival Phantasm and this, and it was kind of fun in the beginning when they were just like magazine illustrations, but now we're getting a whole anime based on Illya, and I don't know. But then again, I mean, I try to remember that that Nanoha was originally a spin-off, and that became something so incredible.
Wait, Nanoha?
Nanoha was a spin-off of Triangle Heart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I mean, this could be a case where I'm just kind of being a grump, and it could be really amazing. So we'll see. I mean, was it Silverlight? They're really good. So
Link.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I tripping up on words here. The staff, I don't really know much about them, so it's kind of hard for me to say whether there's no pedigree to it. But at the same time, I'm assuming it's a new IP within the franchise, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, we have somebody who loves Prisma Illya, Usne.
Oh,
Hi.
We don't care about Usni.
Okay.
Oh, he's one of my minions on Friday Anime Podcast, so.
Oh, I see.
No
I
one
see.
cares
I
about
see.
Usni.
Okay, he'll just have to wait.
All right, moving on to our next topic. So yes, Torkaizer, labeled Middle East's first anime.
Yes.
So right here at the bottom of the screen, I posted the YouTube URL for this trailer. Go check it out. So to give you some background, Torkaizer is done by, I believe, a studio in Dubai called Alter Ego. And what it looks like is it's an action mecha series. Based on clues and hints, it seems like it's about a foreigner who takes a trip to Tokyo. I believe it's Tokyo, and a bunch of robots come into play, and the next thing you know, essentially it's destruction everywhere. So it's an action show. There's not much details on it. I mean, unless you guys know Arabic, I don't. But again, go to the website, go to YouTube if you want to check it out. I guess the most important thing is that I like how the label, it's called the first anime of the Middle East, in that when you watch the trailer, there's both Arabic and Japanese. So I mean,
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. So like the visual style, it looks very anime. It looks like they're borrowing more from the East as opposed to the West. But the fact that there's Japanese in this as well, it's really interesting. I'm kind of curious now exactly what they're going to do with this. So,
though, I mean, two things about the trailer.
Go for it.
First, hearing the guy yell like Torkaizer in like that Arabic accent, I was like, whoa, that's pretty interesting. But in the end, there was something he said like the robot says like, your chance of survival is 8%, and he goes like, oh, as long as it's not 0, we have a chance. And I was thinking that was very typical. So I'm wondering how much this is gonna, even though it is like the Middle East first anime supposedly, I wonder how much it's actually gonna break the mold. You know?
I mean, just based off the initial trailer, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing to compare it, but just based off the first trailer, it feels like TTGL vibes, where it's like very actiony, very mecha, very just balls to the walls fun. Like,
Yes, I'm nodding my head and nobody can see, but yes.
yes. But yeah, so I don't know where this will be shown. I think it'll show up at a couple of film festivals, but whether it's going to be released in the United States or Europe, kind of hard to say now. Kind of hard to say. But, it's picking up some buzz, so for all we know, a publisher could pick it up and we could see it outside of Dubai. But yeah, keep your fingers crossed, guys, and maybe if you tweet about it, something good will happen. Ready?
All right.
And on to our last news segment of the week.
Sad news.
Sad news. There are massive layoffs at Disney. So for the past month, Disney has been talking about essentially their financial issues that they've been over the past year. If you follow video games, you realize that LucasArts has been going under. And then in addition to that, Disney's also mentioned that there will be layoffs within their own studios. See, one of the biggest things was that when they first made this announcement, they made it seem like it was more on the management side because they were citing specifically that low DVD and movie sales were the cause of essentially their the downturn. However, over the past week, we've been getting reports, we as in reporters, have been getting reports that key animators are also getting released. And it's no one from actually their computer, I guess the graphics engineering, like essentially the 3D people. It's all from the 2D animators. So a lot of key personnel, even those from who did the recent movie, what was it, The Princess and the Frog, all the way back to, I believe, what am I thinking of? Something in the Beauty. Beauty and the Beast. There we go. It goes all the way that far back. So yes, there's a lot of veterans who are being laid off. And so, it's kind of a bad time for animation. Do you think this in any way reflects the stagnation of the animation industry that we're seeing in the East as well?
Well, I really don't know what to think about Disney because, it is sad that their traditional animation is kind of dying, but I mean, I guess if anything, it is just a sign of the times, Or maybe, hopefully, maybe it means that Disney is not going to be this, hegemonic presence over animation. Maybe there's going to be room,
Well, I mean, it's hard to think of many animation studios today that make essentially big AAA titles. I guess the only one I can think of is Pixar, but their focus is usually on 3Ds, like 3D computer graphics stuff. So I don't know. Yeah,
That's true. I think. If we take like Tangled for example, what they seem to be trying to do is to draw out as much artistic potential from 3D now, which I guess that's their prerogative. They can do that if they want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as a glimmer of hope, I posted this picture. This is from their recent little short called The Paperman. If you go on YouTube, you can catch it right there. It's only about 6 minutes. But it's phenomenal. It's essentially about this man meeting this lovely woman here, and he constructs thousands of paper airplanes in order to get her attention. Again, check it out. It's a masterpiece. But the reason why I bring this up is because also on YouTube they have a little documentary talking about how they made this, and it is a combination of 2D animators and 3D graphics engineers. So it's an amalgamation of both. So it makes me wonder if maybe the reason why they're laying off so many of those animators is because, yes, it's true that they are putting a larger focus towards, I guess, the 3D as opposed to 2D, but at the same time, they can still incorporate that 2D charm in the 3D.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's the times are changing, and as time goes on, technology develops. And they can prove right here that they can, with current technology, the more advanced technology, so better to say, they can still produce these 2D charms, like what we've grown up with. So, again, it's still too early to say that Disney is no longer going to be doing 2D animation, but at the same time, you can't help but look at the current direction. Well, LucasArts is going under. There's a greater focus more on the Marvel franchise now. So you have the Iron Man 3 coming up, and then you have Atom Man, and you have a bunch of other Marvel characters getting their own movies as well. So, I guess, all the money is in the United States, so if people would rather watch those franchises as opposed to getting original cartoons, so be it.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope for the best.
Yes. Oh, and on one final note, the reports did mention that ESPN is doing okay, so we still get sports. All right.
Oh, okay. That's good.
That's fantastic. That's all I need Disney for. I'm kidding. All right. So let us now jump into the second string of premieres that we've gotten over this season.
Yes. All right. Showtime.
All right. I'll let you take over. Take over on him.
Take over. Wait, whoa. Okay. Okay. What are we going to talk about first?
All right. So according to the slides, we should talk about Henneko first.
Oh.
So how about you, for the viewers who haven't seen that show, how about you describe as to what it is?
Okay. There's this guy, and he has this problem with expressing his true feelings, and that troubles him because he feels like if he was just able to express himself more freely, like he thinks that girls would be all over him. And so he ends up going to this cat statue that's supposed to be able to grant your wish, to take away something of yours, like a personality trait that you don't like, and give it to somebody else. And he goes there with the girl picture there, and she wishes that she wouldn't show her emotions as easily on her face, and he wishes that he could have his outer persona like taken away. But what ends up happening is the girl becomes completely emotionless, is not able to smile or laugh or anything, and the guy, he will it's like some kind of like super Tourette's, where when he has a perverted thought, he will just blurt it out completely and loudly as possible. So they're both trying to, I guess the show is about them trying to solve that problem that they both have. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you seen it?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's surprisingly good.
Yeah, it is. Like, I don't know. Like, so when I first read the previews about this show, I was like, the only thing that really attracted my attention was Kontaku, or however you pronounce his name, essentially the character designer for it. And like when I was reading about the premise, I just thought, man, this is so stupid. Like, I don't like. I'll try it. Like, I'm willing to try anything, but at the same time, I did not know it would be this fantastic.
Right. Yeah. There was the scene where he says, like, Senpai, why are you wearing shorts? Why don't you put on your spats, you thoughtless woman? Oh my gosh, yeah, it's inventive in its particular milieu, shall we say? Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Also, what I didn't realize going into it was that this is animated by JC Staff. So their more recent work, Sakura. So I'm noticing more that they are becoming more expressive in their colors. Let's put it like that. And that this show it's just so beautiful to look at because it's bright colors everywhere. You have like the way they do the lighting, the shading. I'm not saying it's realistic. I'm just saying it's very bright, it's very vibrant, and it fits the rambunctious atmosphere that the show gives off. And so
yeah. If anything, the colors are just it's all thoughtful. It's really nice to see. Yeah.
It's definitely a treat for the eyes. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, you should definitely check this one out. Just keep your expectations low.
Yes, please. Very, very, very low.
Very low. Very low. But yeah.
Your turn.
No, wait, my turn? No, I was going to ask you who's best girl so far?
Oh, best girl? Oh, oh no. Okay. So I don't know her name yet, but the blonde one. At first, I was kind of like, okay, well, whatever. She's kind of a tsundere, okay. But I noticed that when she talks, she like says nya inside her like words, yes. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. Oh, I'm terrible, but I really like this girl.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I guess right now I'm terrible with names, so I'm gonna have to say the main character, the female that you see on screen.
Mm.
Mostly for the fact that I actually liked her after like she lost her ability to show her facial emotions or expressions. Because there was one scene in particular is when they were in the nurse's office and he started talking to the girl, the blonde girl that you mentioned.
Oh, just kicking
Yeah,
the.
yeah, yeah. So you can tell she's clearly jealous because she's starting to kick the bed, but she just has this stone cold face where you can't tell. You're just wondering like, what is she doing? So like, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like that. Yeah. All right, your turn.
Oh, my turn. Okay.
Yes.
So the other show that debuted recently was Suicide no Gansha. So I kind of wanted to wait after the first episode. Let me give the rundown. So based on the first episode, essentially there was a war going on in space. So mankind, essentially leaves planet Earth, or it's implied that they leave planet Earth and they essentially spread through the stars. But as they're spreading through the stars, they run into this alien race that essentially pushes them to the brink of extinction. So when they're trying to do humans, these guys, that blonde guy, or the white-haired guy you see there, they try to do a final assault on the enemy, hoping that, this would turn the tide of the battle, end the war, and then everyone would be saved. But the attack goes horribly wrong, and then in the process, our main character gets flung through space, and then ends up landing on a planet that essentially covers or surrounded by ocean. As he gets out of as he gets out of his mech and he talks to his mech because his mech's kind of cool, he realizes that like this. It turns out this planet has like the perfect habitation for like humankind, and then eventually he realizes that he's living essentially in Waterworld, where like everyone's in boats and essentially they roam around like nomads, collecting scraps from the bottom of the ocean, whatever life that used to be there. So jumping to the second episode, they actually start discussing more about the world that they live in, how apparently there was like a giant ice age that must have froze everything over, raised the ocean levels. But there was those who weren't able to, I guess the poor people, they weren't able to leave the planet. So humanity, again, restarted with their basic tools and then rebuilt themselves until what we see today is a bunch of people traveling in ships, like I said, like nomads. And so this is more like a fish out of water tale where, I like that term, fish out of water. So it's more like a fish out of water tale where our main character, who's so used to, one, serving as a soldier for like his entire life, and two, living in like space. So I guess more like, artificial stations, colonies, that kind of stuff. But now he ends up on this planet where there's just a lot of people, like, almost like a tight-knit tribe, working together to just live out their lives to their fullest content. So yeah. Now the reason why I wanted to wait so much was because, for those who don't know, this has been written by Butch Gen. So his more recent works were Psychopaths. Then there was Fate Zero, and then before that you had Madoka. Mm-hmm. So I felt like there was always some kind of message. Like he's trying to convey something within his work. Like I feel like there's a lesson to be taught. And so the reason why I decided to wait, discuss the show is because I want to see more how he would flesh out the world, which I always give him credit for doing. He can do that brilliantly. So now we have this show, where essentially you have this character who's so used to like fighting all the time, where now he's living with a tribe, with very basic tools and just going around fishing, collecting stuff. Well, what do you think about the show? Because I think it's phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal. Or I think it's on its way to be phenomenal. What do you think about it?
Actually, I'm surprised. So you haven't seen the second episode?
No, I have.
Oh, you have? Okay. All right. So like, what interests me is this kind of this theme of artificiality, because like in the first episode he comes out, he's like, oh, what's that smell? And then in the second episode, I mean, not to spoil anybody, but like Amy gives him a piece of fish, and he goes like, well, what the hell is that? And his robot says, it's a corpse. You have to eat it. And he goes like, why do you have to eat a corpse? And it's it's just really fascinating to see the level of thought that's kind of gone into. And then what happens at the very end, which to me was very shocking and horrifying. It really drives home that this guy is going to have to learn sort of what it means to be human. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Again, like So I'm kind of I kind of feel like I'm an outsider here because everyone I've talked to thinks that the show is wonderful. Like they're all raving about it. After the first episode, everyone's like, "Oh yes, yes, clap, clap, clap! Anime of the season, yes, yes." And for me, I'm just sitting here saying, "Okay, like it wasn't a bad episode. The first two episodes were actually good. I liked it. I just feel I feel more or less indifferent. Like I want to watch the show and I want to see how it develops, but I feel like once I see the development, like it just kind of washes over me and I'm like, oh okay, it's nifty. Like I don't know. I feel like the main girl in Henneka where all this stuff are happening, but I just can't show it.
Mm, that's interesting. Yeah, I suppose. Well, I don't know. I felt very drawn in. Maybe it's because the character designs are by Hanaharu Naruko. So,
Oh, that explain it.
just rubbing my hands, waiting for the dojins to come out.
Well, there are
But,
pirates, so you don't know what might happen in those dojos.
oh no, oh no, oh but those pirates got taken care of, thank God.
Yeah.
So
Actually, let's go back to that scene because you mentioned that when he spoilers. Sorry again.
okay.
If when he comes in to essentially save the day and he just destroys everybody,
Instantly.
instantly, yes, and it was like with like superb precision. Like I don't even know what kind of computer would take to calculate those kind of shots. But I mean, like I saw the scene and I'm thinking to myself, I should be shocked. Like I mean, I should be feeling what those other people are feeling where they see this destructive force that he has, like the potential for what he can do to their fleet, like if they were to turn against it, or if he were to turn against them. But at the same time, I just didn't really, I couldn't emote anything from it. Like I was like, oh, okay, you just blew a lot of people, and I don't know. I feel like because I know this is written by Butch Gen, I'm having a certain level. I have certain expectations for like something.
You're traumatized.
I'm not traumatized. I feel jaded is probably a better word to describe it. Is that I'm like, okay, what's the message? What is Butch trying to get at? Who's gonna die and when are they gonna die? I feel like that's what I'm coming across as, and it's a bad thing to do. It's a very bad thing to do with any show. Doesn't even matter what media you're looking at. That's just a bad thing to do. But at the same time, I just can't help but feel like this, where it's like I'm waiting for someone to die. Like I'm waiting for all these things that like for the things that traditionally Butch Gen does.
Well, I think no, it's not bad. It's not bad the way that you're approaching the show. I mean, I personally, and I think a lot of people had a kind of an emotional reaction, but then it seems to me that you're seeing kind of the underlying structure of what he's doing, and it's true. Like the show is very, like when you come down to it, like fish out of water and all that stuff. It's very by the numbers, and so yeah. I mean, you're just waiting to see. I don't think that's bad.
No. Well, I don't know. I'm usually so again. I run a Fabcast, right? Like we like to praise anime. We like to show our excitement for it. And I just feel kind of awkward in the fact that everyone is constantly saying, "Oh yeah, Gargantua's so amazing, it's so fantastic," and I'm just like,
Yeah, it's okay.
like, I'm not being a Debbie Downer or anything. I just can't relate to him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well.
Wait and see.
Well, yes, let's wait and see. That's always a good tactic. All right, next topic.
Yes.
All right. So, other two shows that came out recently that we haven't yet to talk about. Do you mind if I introduce Haruka Maou-sama?
I'll go for it.
All right, it's my show. I'll do it. So yes, Haruka Maou-sama. I'm going to throw this term out again because I like using this term. This is another fish out of water tale, but essentially it's focused on three special characters. Two of them pictured here. So the man you see on the right, he essentially from his old world was Satan, the demon lord who tried to essentially enslave all of mankind and take over the world. However, during his conquest, he was stopped by a girl on the left, who is essentially the hero leading mankind against the demons. And what happens is that in the final battle, the humans essentially raid the demon lord's main castle and essentially just destroy his entire army. And so the demon lord essentially says, I'm going to leave and I'm going to come back and I'm going to take back what's mine. So he and his personal assistant, best friend, whatever you want to call him, they jump into a portal which they thought was going to take them to a different place. Little did they know, it actually takes them to what we have present-day Japan, and he essentially arrives in Japan, but he also cannot do, he no longer has his magic. So he's essentially just a normal human being. So he and his best friend go eventually become ordinary citizens of Japan, pick up part-time jobs, and live in this old rinky-dink apartment. And so every day is essentially about the Demon Lord working at McDonald's and his best friend trying to research a way of getting their magic back and trying to go back to the original world. And at the same time, you also have Amelia, which, again, the female you see here. She jumps into the portal behind them, unbeknownst to them. And she essentially falls into the same routine where she can no longer use her magic. And so what she must do is essentially pick up a job so that they can survive. And so, yeah, like I said, it's another fish out of water tale. But I think the reason why I like this show so much is in its ability to show and not tell. And the fact that when they arrive on Earth, like our Earth, present day Earth, they're speaking this different language that's not Japanese, and so they're trying to interact with the locals, and so they're having a really hard time of essentially just trying to fit in. They're like, they're trying to do their magic, and they're like, oh wait, what is he saying? Why does he not fear you? Why is our carriage not run by horses? And it's these kind of little things, and essentially you see them turning from hardened soldiers who want to conquer the world into essentially an average man who works McDonald's. And it's lovely seeing how they make this transition into something into essentially a funny main character you have here. And the same thing also happens to Amelia. And now essentially you have these three characters trying to figure out what's going on and how can they manage in the world that they are in today, and two, how can they return back into the original place. I love this show. What do you think, 2DT?
Oh, I do. I love it too. Actually, my response kind of changed because we have we have 2 episodes out. In the first episode, the pleasure that I got from it was like, you know how they're like those nerds who say like, oh, if you sent me back to the Middle Ages with a pound of C4 or something, I would totally take over all of Europe or something, like that.
Yeah.
And like this is showing that no, if you end up, no matter how much power you think you have, like if you go into this totally foreign environment, you're going to be like lost, you're going to be floundering, and we totally see that in the first episode. The second, though, that was like it really, really hit home that this is a very kind of bittersweet story. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just Amelia's situation is so sad, so incredibly sad that they have this lost glory, and now they're just like eating those horrible squares of non-material, whatever that was.
Half-off croquettes.
Yeah, the half-off croquettes. Oh, that's so sad. So sad because I know, I live there, and those things taste like crap. It's just incredibly bittersweet, and I really enjoy that. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, but I guess what I find more fascinating is the fact that the chemistry that these characters have, all three of them together. So you have the Demon Lord and his assistant, who it's funny because to this day, essentially the Demon Lord, Maou-sama, he's powerless. He can't really do any magic. He's at the lowest tier, essentially a salesman at a fast food franchise that's clearly not going to go anywhere, right? So he's at essentially the bottom of society, and yet his assistant's just still praising him. It's like, yes, he's the Demon Lord. He will conquer you. And essentially when Amelia comes in, when she starts bickering with the Demon Lord, where he's like, you better pay your respects to this. This man gave you $1. You bow down to him. And it's just like, how can you you can't help but totally feel for these characters.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful.
It's so funny because that assistant, he's completely losing it, and the only thing he can hold on to is what they used to have in the old world, and it just doesn't work, Very funny. I love it.
Man, I don't know. Every Thursday I get excited for the show. I can't wait for it to come out. Also, those two, that pairing right there, that OTP. It's beautiful.
It's wonderful. Yeah, because well, yeah, he became a decent guy. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And spoilers. There's an interesting point that Amelia brought up in episode 2, where she essentially says to like the Demon Lord, "Look, if you're stuck on this Earth, you're stuck on this planet, and you have no powers. If you're totally content with just being a normal person, I will forgive you for all your past sins, and we'll just move on. However, if you have the intention of trying to take over this world or returning back to our old world to take it over, then I will kill you."
Hmm.
Which I feel like that's kind of a good trade-off. You know, it's like this man slaughtered millions. He's essentially Hitler. But you know, now that he's able to have a new lease on life, he's able to.
You had to go there.
Oh, come
Go,
on.
go on, go on, go on.
Everyone was gonna make that comparison. So essentially, like he slaughtered millions. He tried to take over the world, and yet now that he's become humble in his standing. Like he doesn't demand anything. If you notice that, like that's what I noticed, or that's one thing I kind of caught on early, was that like, yes, his assistant would praise him with like, "Oh yes, like you're the Demon Lord. Yes, you are the greatest. You are the greatest." Yet he doesn't really demand anything from it. Or like he showed they showed him using his magic or what little he had to like control someone and essentially ask them, what is this world? Tell me everything about it. I mean, but he could have done that on the landlady in order to like get a better apartment. He could have done that on some other like some civilians and just like turn them into his personal servants. Like he could have. There's so much more bad he could have done, yet he chose to just essentially live a humble life while clinging onto his past.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. Oh, Hybrid's Blood Zach just said no love for Chichan. I will say about her, she's cute. She's small and she's cute. But cute alone does not really do it for me. So, what do you think?
Her melons are bigger than her head, and that always creeps me out.
Yes, exactly. Flat chest forever. Really, I don't understand.
I'll take A's before E's any day. No lie.
Oh, this is going to be recorded and saved on the internet forever, just so we know.
Yeah, but no one knows my real name.
Oh, yes.
All right. So yeah, anything else about Maou-sama besides the fact that it's a wonderful show that everyone should try?
No, yeah, I think you should watch it. That's about all we should say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So,
All right.
moving on to our final show of discussion. Second season of Railgun.
Yes, Railgun. So good.
Go for it.
So good. I remember the moment that the Raws dropped, on Yatorrents. I was like, and I dropped everything and I just downloaded it and I watched it raw and I didn't understand half of it. I was like, oh, this is so great. Yeah, it's well, I mean, I suppose if you haven't seen the first season, you might be a little bit lost, but all you really need to know is that they're in a special city where people work on psychic powers, and the main character is one of the most powerful ones out there. But she's basically a normal girl trying to live a normal life. Mm-hmm. And it's just, the characters are just they're fun, and like I feel like such a loser saying this, but it felt like my friends are coming back, Yeah, no, that hurt, but yeah, and as you can see from the girl in the image right there, like what makes this season especially promising, I think, is that they're so the way, I mean, if you don't know the setting, the way that the city works is that there are levels 1 through 5 of psychic power, and the level 5s are just like, they're basically gods, and there's only like 4 or 5 of them.
7.
Oh, okay, there we go, 7. And so the question seems to be in the second season, what on earth happens when one of these 7 decides to do what they want, do whatever they want, And
that's what the season's about?
Well, I mean, that's because the opening sequence is like it seems like a lot of level 5s like fighting each other, and then this one in the picture, unfortunately I forgot her name, I think Misaki or something, but she has no, that this girl, the psychic one.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, so like her power, she has a remote control, and basically she can make everybody seemingly do her will. And it's kind of creepy, and I'm wondering, like, yeah, how is this going to play out? So yeah, it's very promising and very exciting and very good and yeah.
Yeah. So, for those who are familiar with Railgun but not the manga, or I guess who are familiar with the manga, I read online that apparently they will be doing the Sisters arc first. Don't know what that is. I don't know what it's about. But what I could probably piece together is that it probably has to do with all those clones that Misaka has, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the fact that if you notice in the opening, Accelerator wasn't in his crutches. So I wonder if they're going to somehow do a story essentially before Toma deals with the situation in Index, where like because they mentioned in Index, where this is all speculation. I don't know. I haven't read the manga, so sorry. So there's a lot of speculation or I speculate that essentially they're going to do is talk about Misaka's story, about how she's been trying to stop Accelerator from killing all those clones. Yeah, right. It makes you wonder why he's in the opening now. So yes, they also keep throwing in Toma as well. So I mean, he does play an important role in the Index series.
Yeah, I guess.
Dude,
he's okay.
No one likes him. No one likes him.
He's okay. He's all right.
But I like to ship those two. I really do.
No, I mean, because the only I don't know. He's like Maou-sama in the show we just discussed, except he's not as interesting.
I feel like he gets more interesting. I feel like he gets more interesting later on after he gets his ass kicked and shot in the face.
Fair enough.
Yeah. When he has to start dealing with Last Order, that's when I feel like he becomes the more interesting character. Yeah. Oh, so as Joe Animated likes to point out, because I have to mention him because it's his show. Yes, so the Sisters arc is the arc that attempts to push Accelerator to level 6. So yeah, so that is that story that we got from Index, where Accelerator essentially has to kill all the Misaka clones in order to boost his power so that he can be the first ever level 6. Because don't forget, there are 7 level 5s, but no level 6. So.
I will say, I haven't seen more than 2 episodes of Index total, so it'll all be new to me.
I mean, this is what you need to know. Magician comes in, Toma has bad luck, Toma punches the girl in the face, problem solved.
Basically, right?
Yeah. Toma punch, everyone lives on. Yeah. If that's not a role model, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know. I'm really excited for Railgun. There's a reason why I posted this picture as opposed to the picture of Misaka.
Why?
So when I was first watching Railgun, I saw her and I was like, okay, you got nice blondness, what's up, thickness? How's it going? But then the first time I heard her voice, I immediately paused the video, and I was like, wait a minute. So I went back a couple seconds, replayed her first line, which is essentially her just saying, Misaka! And then that instance, I realized that is Yukio from Idolmaster.
I can't believe it.
Who wants to high-five my high power levels? What's up? Yeah!
I'm doing a golf clap for you right now.
I went on Mal, I checked it out, I was right. That is Yukio from Idolmaster.
You are amazing. Truly amazing.
Yeah, that's not going to help you get a girlfriend, though. But...
I will tell every lady I know, hey, Aero Blip, he can recognize Yukio and like that.
Yeah. It's not even that, it's all the Idolmasters. Or not all the Idolmasters, all the idols. Like in Sasami-san, Hibiki is actually the quote-unquote villain with the pink hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no one knew that. I did. I called it. What up? But yeah. But yeah, this nice thickness. I hope she plays a much larger role later on because, I mean, come on, look at that character design. Just that hair, those gloves, that elegance.
Those eyes. Oh yes. I agree.
Actually, I'm kind of scared about those eyes.
Why?
Well, so here's the thing. So do you remember that brief moment where when she's confronting Misaka, she controls her friend with the purple hair, and then she controls all those people in the library.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when she does that, you can tell that like all their eyes turn into hers, where you see like the stars and the sparkles.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I guess that's one way of just showing that they are under her control. Now, what makes me wonder, or I'd be really sad if it turns out like the actual, like the real Esper, the real level 5, is like some fat chick who sits at home, or some fat dude who sits at home, but then just controls this hot chick, you know?
Oh no! Oh my God! That's terrible.
It's terrible, yes, but like,
I don't want to do. I'm gonna just forget it. That's so terrible. That's real. What do they call that? Fridge logic, where you really think of the implications of something.
I
Oh
know,
my
but I'm
God.
horrified.
Yeah, no, me too. My God.
Kind of puts a damper on all those dojins, huh?
Yeah. Oh. No, it's fine. It's fine. You know, the power of imagination is infinite. So.
I mean, imagination can only take you so far, man. Once you know about reality, it's like I don't know. You can't bypass it. It's like playing WoW, where like you see like a female character, and you know it's not really a female. Like, so how can you treat it like a female? Like, you know,
Guy with Dorito dust in his neck.
Oh, what's up, Miss Sokka? How's it going? No, I'm sorry.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. That has interesting implications.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. So.
Great show.
Well,
Great show.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Do you think Railgun could perhaps be the best show this season?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, because Maou-sama could be really well. I mean, in terms of if you just measure like action shows, I do think Railgun has potential to be better than like Gargantia even.
Well,
But
it depends, because if you remember the first Railgun, there was a lot of action in the second half, where that's essentially where the original source material came in, and people complain about the bad source material People complain about the bad story, but at the same time, like that's where it was most action packed. So it kind of makes you wonder, like. I don't know. I don't know. Can they learn from their past mistakes, or do they have decent source material to guide them? Like,
yeah, we'll see.
Can only hope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus! I just realized something.
Yes.
It is now 11:55, and we have not played our game yet.
Oh my gosh. Because we just love Railgun so much. It's just so exciting. And
Yeah. I mean, but there's a lot of great shows this season, like Henneko, Gargantia, Haruka Masama, and now Railgun. Like,
it's so great.
we have
and
four
that's
other
not,
shows to talk about. I don't think we'll ever get to them.
Yeah.
Do you
it's a good
still
season.
want to play the game though? We have. I mean, I can go on forever, but let's keep it limited to 5 minutes. Do you want to play your game still?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, we'll make it quick. I'll save each show for 30 seconds. Everyone likes them when we're timed. So you ready?
Wait a minute. What are we supposed to do?
We're gonna play our game. The game of the week is one word. We describe our thoughts on a show with one word.
Uh-huh.
And so say your word and say why you picked that word.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Great.
We'll keep it limited to 30 seconds per show.
All right. Good.
All right. So in 3, 2, 1. All right. Ori Emo Season 2. What's your word?
My word is scrumptulescent, which is not a real word, but I chose that word because I didn't originally like season 1, but I watched this one, and especially the IS episode. It turned out to be so scrumptious and so delicious and so entertaining for me to watch that I don't know. I think I'm a terrible pervert, but it's scrumptulescent. It's just a feeling that wells up from my soul when I see ISA.
Okay,
Yeah.
my turn. So I picked flat. I feel bad, but I actually kind of like the first season. I know it was pretty stupid, and Kirino is a terrible character. I guess it was the last 4 episodes when it was all about Kuroneko that kind of redeemed itself. But yeah, I feel like the show is missing the same charm, and I don't know what the hell happened to the main character, but I don't like the way he turned out. All right, next show, Valve Rave. What was your word for it?
Oh, okay. So my word for Valvrave was Gias Flone because it reminded me of Code Geass and Escaflowne, the movie. Especially like the whole mecha, like kind of powered by blood kind of thing, and I don't know, for some reason, just the first few seconds of the show, I was like, this is Code Geass.
Yeah.
And so I feel, yeah. Oh no, I feel like it's there's some attempt to be a successor on some level. Yeah, go on.
So I was gonna say the same thing, copycat. I kept getting Gyaos vibes everywhere. I mean, come on, like best girl dies in the first like 15 minutes, really? That's terrible. I'm not saying Shirley's the best character. I did not say Shirley was the best character. But yeah, you're. I mean, you get mechs. There's something going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of rivalry, competition stuff. Something about society like that. I don't know. But yeah, I just feel like it's modeled after something, but I can't figure out what. But yeah. So oh shit. All right, next one. Origairu or Yahari. What's your word?
Okay, my word for oregaru is unfortunate because it's so much better than Haganai, but I feel like nobody's gonna watch it because it looks just like Haganai, and it's the character interactions are so more interesting and the motivations for the characters to kind of be there and do what they do is so much clearer. And I'm actually enjoying the first 2 episodes that I've seen, and it's just unfortunate. It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I call this the best show that no one's going to watch. Like, I absolutely fell in love with the show with the first episode. I admit it. I have seen the first episode 10 times. I liked it that much.
Wow.
And I just like the way the characters play off each other. Like, I mean, sure you can compare it to Hawk and I, but you just have 2, maybe 3, depends on how the story goes, bitter people, just essentially who have just been scarred by, like, not, I wouldn't say overly dramatic traumas, but at the same time, like, they just had bad experiences, so that's the reason why they're so bitter today. And not to mention that opening, I fucking love that opening song by Yanagi Nagi. Like, super.
Beautiful, yes.
All right, so last show, I have no idea what it's called.
Oh, Ayura.
All right, sure, let's go with that.
Okay, so my word for Ayura is Rembrandt-esque because it's it's like 5 minutes long, including an opening and an ending that are both full size. So like the actual show is like 2 or 3 minutes. But the thing is that it's so beautiful. The art, the sound design, the motion, the way the light moves through the trees is just, and you hear the teacups like and the clink of the glass, and it's just so beautiful. And that's why Rembrandt-esque.
I said iCrab. So I tried this show out. I got through the opening, and the only thing I got out from it was Steve Jobs and crabs. And to be honest, I was so bored, I don't even remember what happened in the episode. Like, I just remember Steve Jobs and crabs. I'm sorry.
I'm so sad.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I try to get in these shows, kind of like Yu Yushiki. I try to watch that. I just cannot get into it. It was... You need to do something else besides cute girls doing cute things in order to get my attention.
I'll agree on Yu Yushiki. It's not that great to me, unfortunately.
All right. So yeah, we said 30 seconds. I lied. Anywho.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, we're at midnight, so.
We are at midnight, so thank you 2DT for coming on our show.
Thank you.
Do you have any final thoughts before we officially close the show?
Yeah, actually I do. Especially, I mean, given by the way that we gabbed on and on about this season's shows, and I think we could have gone on for 2 hours or 3 hours or more. Mm-hmm. I feel, I am a person who's very concerned with narratives, and I think the main narrative kind of sold by the industry, the Western anime industry, is like kind of that the things are in decline, things are bad, things are getting worse and worse. And it's all our fault because we're so shitty, right? That's kind of the winning narrative that people that they sell to us. But I mean, if you look at the shows that are out and how much excitement there is and how lively everything is, the things that we watch, the people around us, we are living in a golden age. We are definitely in a golden age, and I think that we should appreciate that. Yeah.
I definitely agree with you. So I came in 2011 as far as like currently airing anime, and that was a good year. And it seems like every year it's getting better and better. So maybe because I'm new, I don't understand why there's a lot of hate, disappointment, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I do agree with you with a lot of what you said. I'll take it from a true master, of course. I mean, come on, you're a legend, seriously.
Oh, come on. We're legends together, here, right now.
We brought in 40 viewers. I'm pretty sure that was mostly because of you.
Woo! 40 viewers. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad.
All right. So yeah, thanks again 2DT for coming on. Everyone, you should thank 2DT for him gracing us with his presence. I think I got my pronouns mixed up on those. All right.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thanks for listening. So yes, Anime Audio Log, please check out the website. You can find more stuff there, such as Anime on the Clock, which is done by Kivo and Akira. That debuts on Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In addition, you can also check out other editorials and such, and I guess weekly blog posts. Also, if you notice at the top of the screen, we have a new logo.
Yes.
We do have a new logo, yes.
I like it.
Yes, I did not draw it, sadly. But yes, so those, if you remember, we've been holding a competition essentially of who can draw us a new logo, and this was the winning design. So thank you everyone who submitted stuff. But sadly, we can only choose one, and this was the one that was picked by the public. Yes, so again, as I said, you can check out our website, animeaudiolog.wordpress.com. Our podcasts, all the shows, are also on iTunes, or you can catch it on YouTube with user Joe Animated, who is, of course, the editor-in-chief of the site. And if you're ever interested in being on this show in particular, just email us at animeaudiolog@gmail.com. In addition, you can also join Fatcast, Friday Anime Podcast, which is essentially just about us going unscripted, talking about whatever we want to talk about. That's over at the blog Desu Ex Machina, where I work at, and we essentially have a show every other Friday. So if you want to be on that show, just email FridayAnimePodcast@gmail.com. All right, and that's all we have for you folks. Good night.
Good night.